Normally these commentaries emerge on a Monday, but today is Tuesday, October the 13th, and I'm taping today because yesterday was Columbus Day in the United States, a holiday, Thanksgiving in Canada, a holiday, so naturally we move the taping to today. And there's another aspect of the timing which is slightly irregular. I want to deal with a subject which is actually occurring today, and it's a subject with which many people will be unfamiliar. In Geneva, at the United Nations Human Rights Council, the premier body on human rights internationally, there is an election for the Human Rights Council taking place. 15 new members for 3-year terms in the 47-member council. Now, the way elections are arranged in the United Nations is really quite interesting. It's all done on a regional basis. So there are a certain number of regional slots available for each region, and there is always the exact number of candidates to fill those particular slots. So you get almost inevitably elections by acclamation rather than voting. On the other hand, in this instance today, there are actually 5 candidates for the 4 slots for the Asia-Pacific region, so there's a real election. I'll come to that in a moment. In Eastern Europe, you have 2 countries for 2 slots, one country of which is Russia. And Russia, in the best democratic tradition, has exercised its veto in the Security Council 16 times against resolutions designed to ameliorate the conflict in Syria and to try to get rid of chemical weapons. Africa has 4 candidates for 4 slots. 2 of them are Côte d'Ivoire and Gabon. Both countries have strongly authoritarian tendencies. In Côte d'Ivoire, you have a president who has cleverly manipulated the constitution to give himself a 3rd term. By the way, he's older than both presidential candidates in the United States. And in Gabon, you have a president who's been in power for 11 years, succeeding his father, who was in power for 42 years. You get the authoritarian sense. In the Asia-Pacific, 2 of the 5 candidates vying for 4 seats are China and Saudi Arabia. They'll probably both be elected. China, of course, has engaged in a virtual genocide against the Uyghur ethnic group within China, and Saudi Arabia continues its scorched earth policy in the Yemenite civil war. It also continues to fiercely discriminate against women within Saudi Arabia, and it has never indicted or brought to book the murderers of the Washington Post journalist Jamal Khashoggi. So what you have are a bunch of human rights violators on the Human Rights Council. And that's a great pity because the Council can do excellent work. It has a number of so-called independent rapporteurs who look at food and health and education and poverty, a whole range of issues, doing investigative reports that often change the policies of individual countries. Occasionally, the Council can have a commission of inquiry into a country which is in perpetual violation of human rights, a country like Burundi. It's a great pity indeed because more of the work, the good work that the Council can do is curtailed by the members who are human rights violators. Does it have to be this way? Not at all. A number of countries with good human rights records could put themselves up for election, but they don't. Why? Because all of the candidates are decided in murky backroom dealings in the smoke-filled diplomatic corridors where countries say to each other, I'll vote for you for the Human Rights Council if you'll vote for me for some other UN election. It's disgusting and deplorable. It means that the Human Rights Council has a significant population of sovereign miscreants. That was today's commentary. I'm Stephen Lewis.